If your LG front loader is flashing the OE error code, you're probably dealing with a drainage issue. Maybe it finishes the cycle sometimes, but you've noticed it's taking much longer than usual. Or it's just intermittently stopping with a tub full of water. Today, we're going to get to the bottom of it and replace the drain pump to get your laundry back on track. First things first, safety. Always make sure to unplug the power cord before opening the machine. Once that's done, head to the bottom left panel and pop the door open. You'll find a small drain hose, pull it out, remove the cap, and drain the remaining water into a shallow tray. Take your time here. Draining it fully now saves you from a massive water mess on your floor later. Next, pull off this bottom cover. It should pop right out with a little nudge, giving us full access to the drain assembly. Now, let's get the filter out. Turn it anti-clockwise. You'll definitely want a towel and a pan here to catch the spillover. Sometimes the OE error is just caused by a massive clog right here in this filter. If yours is clean like this one, but you're still getting the error, it's a confirmed sign that the internal motor of the pump is failing and needs to be swapped. Locate this one Phillips screw at the bottom. It's easy to miss, but it has to come out before we can move the assembly. After unscrewing it, I'm using a flathead screwdriver just to release the top tabs. Give it a gentle pry and the entire unit will come loose. Just set that panel aside for now. Now we need to get the top cover off. Head to the back of the machine where you'll find 2 screws on each side. You only need to remove the lower screw on each bracket to release the lid. Once those are out, simply slide the cover toward the back of the washer and lift it straight up to remove it. This opens up the access we need for the front panel. Pull out the detergent drawer, hit that release tab, and pull it completely free. We need this out of the way so we can reach the control panel screws. With the detergent drawer removed, you'll see 2 Phillips head screws securing the control panel to the frame. Go ahead and back both of those out. Keep these separate from your other screws as they're often a different size. Now that the panel is loose, we need to deal with the wiring. Start by releasing the wires from the plastic ties to give yourself some slack. Carefully disconnect the wiring harnesses. You might need a pair of pliers to gently depress the clips if they're stubborn. Finally, remove the single screw holding the panel to the chassis. With that out, you can lift the entire control panel up and set it safely aside. Just be careful not to tug on any remaining wires. To get the front panel off, we first need to detach the door seal. I'm using a specialized spring expansion plier to grab the loop of the outer tension spring. Once that's removed, I like to tuck the spring safely inside the drum. Now peel the rubber seal away from the front metal casing and push it back into the tub. This clears the way so we can remove the entire front face of the machine without damaging the door seal. Now it's time to remove the main screws holding the front panel to the frame. You'll find several across the top. Be extremely careful as you get to the last few screws. Once that final bit of hardware is out, the entire front panel, including the heavy glass door, is going to want to tip forward. I like to use my leg to block it and keep it steady while I work. Before you pull the panel away completely, don't forget the door switch wiring. Reach behind the panel and carefully disconnect the wire harness from the lock assembly. You might need your pliers again to release the clip. Once that's unplugged, you're free to lift the entire door assembly up and off the frame. Set it aside somewhere safe where the glass won't get scratched. With the front panel off, you can see the drain pump tucked right under this heavy balance counterweight. To give yourself much more room to work, I recommend removing these 4 large screws and taking the weight out. While this step is optional, it makes accessing the pump hoses and electrical connectors a lot less frustrating. With the workspace clear, we can finally pull the pump assembly. Start by removing the 2 screws securing the assembly to the base of the washer. Next, you'll need your pliers to tackle the hose clamps. Squeeze the clips and slide them back along the hoses to release the tension. There are a few different hoses connecting here, so take your time wiggling them off. Just be prepared for a little leftover water to drain out. Once all the hoses are disconnected and the wiring is unplugged, you can simply pull the entire pump assembly forward and out of the machine. Now that it's free, we can get a close look at what was causing that OE error code. Now that the assembly is out, you'll notice this LG model actually has two pumps. The one on the left is our drain motor, the culprit for the OE error, while the one on the right is for recirculation. We're only replacing the drain motor today. Before unplugging anything, here's a tip. Use a permanent marker to mark your connectors. This ensures you don't swap the wires by mistake during reassembly, which could cause even more headaches later. Line up your new pump alongside the old one just to verify everything looks identical. Now, to separate the motor from the assembly, remove these 3 screws around the perimeter. With the screws out, give the motor a firm pull to detach it from the housing. Keep an eye on the O-ring seal here. We want a clean surface for the new install. Before we install the new motor, here is a quick way to confirm the old one is actually faulty. If you use your finger to spin the impeller on the new motor, you should feel a distinct magnetic resistance. It should click into position as it rotates. Now look at the old one. There's almost no resistance at all. It spins way too freely. That loss of magnetic strength is a clear sign the internal motor has failed and can no longer pump water effectively. Before we seat the new motor, take a moment to wipe down the inside of the pump housing with a clean cloth. You want to remove any grit, slime, or old debris that could prevent the O-ring from sealing properly. A clean surface is the best way to avoid a leak once everything is bolted back together and the machine is full of water. Now, align the new motor with the housing and seat it firmly against that clean surface. Go ahead and put back the 3 screws we removed earlier. Tighten them down evenly in a pattern to ensure the O-ring compresses correctly. You don't need to over-tighten. Just make sure they are snug so there's no chance of a leak once the water starts flowing. Now let's get everything back together. First, slide the drain hoses back onto the pump assembly. Make sure they are seated deep enough so there's no risk of a leak. Next, reconnect your wiring harnesses, matching up the marks you made earlier. Finally, look closely at the pump housing. You'll see these locking clips. They need to slide into the slots on the machine's frame to lock the assembly in place. Once it clicks into position, replace the mounting screws, and you're good to go. Time to hook everything back up. Reconnect all the hoses and use your pliers to set the locking clips. A quick tip, tug on each hose slightly just to make sure that clip is holding firm. With the pump assembly locked and loaded, let's put the balance counterweight back in. Lift it into position and line up the 4 mounting holes. Reinstall the large bolts and tighten them down securely. This weight is vital for keeping the machine stable during the spin cycle. So make sure it's bolted on tight with no wiggle room. Time to lift the front panel back onto the machine. Carefully align the bottom of the panel with the hooks on the base frame first. Before you push the top in, don't forget the door switch. Reach behind the panel and reconnect that wire harness we unplugged earlier. Once you hear it click, you can tilt the panel upright and hold it steady with your body while you prepare to drive the first few screws back in. Reassembly is straightforward, just follow your steps backward. It's a great feeling seeing the machine come back together. Knowing the OE error is finally a thing of the past. Keep your screws organized, check your seals one last time, and let's get this washer back in service. With the front panel secure, it's time for the control panel. Plug the wiring harnesses back in, matching them up exactly as they were. Route the wires through the plastic retainers to keep everything organized. Slide the panel onto the chassis, making sure all the plastic tabs line up perfectly. Lock the control panel down with the remaining 2 screws. Now grab the soap dispenser tray. Give that center tab a firm press while you push the drawer back into the case. It should slide right in without any resistance. Secure the control panel with the single mounting screw and you're officially done with the internal work. We're down to the final details. Head back to the bottom corner and slide the emergency drainage hose back into its clip. Make sure the filter cap is twisted on tight to prevent any leaks. Finally, take the plastic access cover, line up the bottom tabs, and snap it back into place. Now, the exterior of the machine is fully sealed and looking exactly like it did before we started. With the front of the machine fully assembled, it's time to close the top. Grab the main cover and rest it on the frame, leaving a small gap at the front. Align the side tracks and give it a firm slide forward until it sits flush against the control panel. Making sure this is seated properly ensures the machine is sturdy and quiet during those high-speed spin cycles. Time to get that door seal back in place. Start at the top and use your fingers to press the rubber lip into the groove of the front housing. Follow the curve of the door, feeling for that solid seat as you go. Once the seal is fully wrapped around the opening, give it a quick visual check to ensure the edge is flush against the metal frame. Now for the final step of the door seal, the spring clamp. I highly recommend using a specialized spring expansion plier for this. It makes the job much quicker and saves your fingers. Hook the wire into the groove, starting from the top. Note that the spring itself should be positioned at the bottom. Use the pliers to stretch the spring just enough to seat the wire into the track all the way around. Once you release the tension, the seal is locked tight. Give that spring clamp one last look and run your finger all the way around the edge. You're feeling for the wire to be tucked deep and evenly inside the rubber groove. If it feels flush and the spring at the bottom is tight, you're officially watertight. Power it on and run a quick rinse and spin cycle. As you can see, the water is draining perfectly and that dreaded OE error is officially gone. You just saved a ton of money by doing this yourself. If this guide helped you, don't forget to like and follow for more DIY repairs.